When you use Old Spice body wash with invisible spray, you smell so manly, scientists will want to study your manliness. That's why I got a dummy me to play me in this commercial. And I got another me to get away in, and another me for emotional support. We got this.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Levels are a bit high. I'm gonna keep that down. Keep it down. Boosting it there. Hey guys, welcome. We're going to be getting onto the stream soon. Just waiting for one more person to get into this lobby, but doing some solo casting today. Great games. These teams, the average SR will be 4,300, so definitely looking forward to some high-level games for you guys. But of course, as always, instead of making up some crazy team names, we're going to be going ahead and doing Team Blue versus Team Red, just to make it simple. Keep it clean. Hey guys, thanks for joining. We are here. Hopefully you didn't blow your eardrums. But we're just waiting for one more player again. This is Mushy Beef. We're just doing some Scrim practice and gonna be working on solo casting. So it's super tough to solo cast, but I think based on the experience that I've had mainly in store and with the Razor store, did a lot of solo casting for the 3v3s we did. So kind of stepped up and understood, like, how do I read off of a kill feed in a nice way, where it's like using the kill feed help inform how I'm going to be casting the rest of the game, and using both like positioning of the player that I'm looking at that time, plus the kill feed, plus the ultimates that may be up or not, to understand like what could happen during a match. And so this particular cast, looking to focus on being able to string together and sound really crisp, right? One of my biggest problems that I have is just the fact that I use filler words like here, there, a lot, saying ums. So I want to try to clean up everything vocal as much as possible. So even right now as I'm talking, there is times when I'm taking pauses. While I want to eliminate those, I would prefer to have a pause in what I'm saying rather than putting in So we'll see how I do. Thanks guys for sticking around. We are going to get started very soon. All the players are in lobby. Looks like we're going to be starting on Lijiang Tower. So stay tuned. You guys feel free to ask any questions as we get started. All right, guys, welcome. We are out here on Lijiang Tower. Again, it's going to be Team Red versus Team Blue, just keeping it simple and clean, but we got some great matches going on today. Again, really big shout out to Zaxel, who helped coordinate this scrim. These teams' SR average is about 4,300, so looking forward to some really great games as we will start out here on Gardens in Lijiang Tower. This scrim is likely going to be 4 maps and be seeing some wonky things here and there in terms of you might get some restarts mid-map just to make sure everyone has a chance to respond. And there was a request as well to get a little bit more free cam, so we're going to try to abide by that. And why not do more free cam as we are here on Gardens. And it's going to be the pharmacy coming out from both sides. And we do see already red team starting to move into the point, but a good flank coming up behind. Rampage looking to get a pick if possible, as the rest of the fight rages in the middle. The tank lines have started to hit each other, and the first pick will go down to Jolf. Now both sides, they do have the Mercy. They could go in the res here, but that Mercy pick is going to be big on both sides. Looks like both Mercies go down, so no reses. Everyone just kind of work with what they have on the point here. Red team, they do have priority as D.Va is going to be kiting around that middle section here, being popped out, but the reinforcements have arrived. Fight seems to be going so far in the favor of Team Red, but there's still a Farah above. Again, being brought back. Mercy will lose her life for that as Axel is going to continue to try to deal as much damage as possible. Does take out one in the Mercy on the other side, but here the red team still holding strong, and it's more about the blue team just trying to get reinforcements in to just try to be able to stay onto the point, and a sound barrier will make sure everyone is topped off. But red team, they need to be able to clear the point off here if they want to be able to capture. They've been ahead so long, but the blue team has just done such a good job at stalling. And now Rampage is back on the point as the Primal Rage will go for the side of blue. They ultimately lose the point, but a lot of ultimates there being used by the red team to just try to win over the point. They had such an advantage, but unfortunately not able to get the flip long very quickly, but a flip nonetheless. Red team is on the board. Blue team here will be looking for an opening. Zaxel is up in the sky, just trying to find the damage. But again, another kill from the Mercy, just falling off the edge. Doesn't have anyone to drop to, as you do see in the top side of this. That's going to be both Tracers 1v1ing up on the top side of that. So whoever will win that battle will be able to come back and turn the tide in the favor, because it is very equal here at the main fight. Self-destruct will give an opportunity here for blue team to move in. They're going to be using 2 ultimates. That's also the sound barrier as well as the Valkyrie. Valkyrie out for both sides. But the kills are going to be starting to fall. Dantana has that rocket barrage in the sky. It's going to be eaten up mostly by that defense matrix, but the damage was done as the rocket barrage will come out from Zaxel as well. But it was just too high up in the sky in order to get those rockets where they really wanted to. Rampage now onto the point, and we see the teams just dancing around the center column, trying to use the corners as much as possible. And in terms of ultimates, Red is ahead, so they have the position on the point, and they have the advantage in terms of the ultimates as well. And they will be able to defend that barrage of ultimates, not able to take the point back, as blue team are just trying to stay alive in this position, and the Primal Rage will make sure no one can go over this bridge without getting knocked out. Red team has such an advantage here. They have both the capture and the ultimate advantage. This could be blue team running into a meat grinder, and that's going to be the ultimate coming on. The self-destruct doesn't catch anyone, but again, pushes everyone off the point. Meanwhile, on the point itself, we do have the D.Va and Zaxel just trying to do damage, as the rest of the team realizing that blue team is going to be flooding around this point, and the tanks here are without their supports. They're just coming now. Zaxel, with a huge rocket barrage, does get taken out eventually, but lays down the damage necessary. Blue team look like they want to turn this. They just have to take care of this far on the opposite side, and they do. Now it's Pearl Combat, joined by the tanks here, as the Primal Rage will go down onto the point, but both tanks are here, and red team now are just starting to reinforce. As it looks like it did flip eventually, but it was a very, very hard fought battle. They had to use everything they had in their pockets. No ultimates available for either side, but very quickly we will have a Valkyrie coming up the red team, and that is exactly what you're hearing now. Dantana now empowered just to do the damage, is able to be string, just getting the damage boost as well as the healing all together. The self-destruct will zone out people on the team on that point, and Mueller will go down for it, but the Valkyrie from the red team will bring back the Tracer as well as the fight continues to rage on. Again, the ultimate advantage on the side of the red. Can blue get the kills, the value that they need, as a self-destruct is used on the side? That's a not optimal position, as well as a sound barrier coming out as well. So we're going to see here now the point, it might flip. Blue team starting to get their ultimates. Joel, if they can stay alive, he has a primal rage in order to knock people off the point. And meanwhile, this entire time, blue team is able to get the capture percentage, but also on top of that, uses the Tracer Bomb to take out the pharmacy composition here. So this is a huge opening for the blue team. They want to use the Valkyrie. They need to solidify these kills. They cannot let this point flip. Blue team are able to stabilize, and the reason why red team got picked as they were entering, and we talk about ultimates. Ultimates need to get you an advantage, and red team was not able to use their ultimates in a position that got them the advantage. We do see the approach here. Again, they have a little bit more time, maybe 1.5 fights. One if it goes very long, and they will be sending in the Winston first and foremost. What can the Winston find? He has that Primal Rage in the pocket here. We'll be fighting with Jove on the point, and there goes the Primal Rage from the red team. But what can he find here? He needs to be able to find something, as the Mercy will be bringing back Zaxel as well. Rocket Barrage comes out from the blue team, and that's going to be used in a not optimal position again. But the rest of the team, the tank's doing so much work on the point. Chuck will take out Nikke. It is 99 to 99%, and it is up to the tanks and the DPS. If the self-destruct, if it's put in the right spot, will earn them a lot of zoning that will be able to push everyone to that front side of the point. Suppo, this Lucio just dancing around the middle. He goes down for this, and the red team has already flopped this, but reinforcements have arrived. Jolf here with the barrier. Has that Mercy behind, is able to get the res off before going down herself, and this could be enough for the blue team, but they need to find the picks. They're very close to the ultimates on their own side. Rampage, 3% of wage. This could be a very big pulse bomb. I'm going to have to watch for Rampage where this pulse bomb goes down, because it needs to be put down on a priority target. But no, it doesn't even have the health to be able to fight, get returned to this battle, as everyone else is already back onto the point itself. Rampage needs to use this pulse bomb, but no, the flip happens, and now it is only up to the Lucio, and now the Mercy and Jolf on the point, but it is staggering here. Everything is stacked up against them, but this Primal Rage could keep them alive long enough. They can't get off the point, though. They need to get kills, but they need to also stay on the point. Zaxel now on this soldier here is able to get a key pick onto the... Now I'm forgetting her name because this is so crazy. The Sombra. But you see now they were able to stabilize a little bit from that Primal Rage, but the rest of the team for the red side are able to come back. But if this is the self-destruct, it pushes them to one side, so the blue team know exactly where they're going to be. And they're staying alive for so long, and it gives enough time for the Valkyrie to get back here. But the red team has so many ultimates to their advantage. They have everything that they need to make in order to get this kill. Again, they just need to clear the point for just a little bit. And here comes Dante with the Rocket Barrage, but goes down. Doesn't even take anyone out other than the Diva. And that will be a big pulse bomb onto the red team, as well as suddenly the blue team seem to have found the ultimates that they needed. Again, they were down in terms of the advantage, but they used their ultimates better, and they're able to flip the point and take this map. Oh, just a sliver left on Lijiang Tower, and you see that overtime slip away from the red team. They had it in the bag. They needed to use those ultimates to win them the fight, but they could not get the kills. Okay, as quick commentary, I noticed that, again, so one of the things I'm working on is not using here and there too much. I caught myself where I was saying it, or I noticed when I was saying it, and was like, I wish I didn't say it. But I think also the free cam is good for certain contexts, but it makes it really hard for me to pick out what is happening, and especially because it's control point, I think you don't have quite the resets, and it's just a giant fight. So here, I think what I want to work on is being able to take breaks even during the middle of the fight, because again, Overwatch is just a giant cluster. So we do see red team, both teams switching it up here. Both teams bringing the Reinhardt. They want to be able to control this middle position, and it looks like early on, blue team will hold it, but again, it needs to end up into kills, and they're just able to turn it right now, getting the picks, and there comes the Lucio speed. They're chasing down the rest of the team, and they want to get these big staggers. Blue team doing a much better job at being able to fight through that shield and get the picks they needed here. Don't know how red team will be able to fight back from this. Looks like they're going to be doing some changes. Dantana now onto that McCree. Was on the Junkrat before. Don't know if this is the right call, but here, already being held at the choke point themselves. As Ultimate's Rampage has a big pulse bomb sitting in the back pocket. See where it decides to put this pulse bomb. As well as they have their Earthshatter for blue team. It's a matter of time before they're able to unleash that. Zaxel has the tire, and it's going to be taken out immediately there. Unfortunately, putting it right into exactly where the damage would be. That's going to be a big Earthshatter, though, coming from red team. They need to be able to combine onto this, but a Graviton is going to keep the rest of red team. They want to be able to work back to the point, but they cannot because a giant Graviton Surge will be sucking them up, and it is just a matter of time. Mueller looking to be picked off as well. Red team need to reset here and think of a new plan, whether it's in the team composition or in the way they're approaching it.
My ultimate ability is charging.
They are not too far behind in terms of the ultimate game. Red team are, in fact, ahead at this point, but they need to make it count. They're going to be opening it up. That's going to be a big sound barrier, but right into the Earthshatter from Jolf. But Jolf is going to be chunked down. He has the bubble onto him, but was chunked down very greatly because of that Tracer Pulse Bomb. But Zaxel is going ham on the backline. He's found behind this shield and is able to trap everyone and just continue. The kills continue to fall for blue team. They have made it to the point. Red team are there, but they will not be able to flip this as Mueller, again, left last alive and will die last. Zaxel with another tire. It does get taken out from Dante. That's about as good as it has gone so far for the red team. But when it rains, it pours for the blue team. They're able to combine. That's going to be the Death Star, the Graviton Surge, as well as the Coalescence from the Moira and Dante. Dantana was able to find the point just to get the overtime, but was abandoning that front line and will go down. Again, blue team with a staggering 2-0 and just all the momentum in their favor on this second map. Okay, so yeah, solo casting is a little bit tough. I'm okay with taking the pauses that I'm taking. I would rather not say things that are useless and take a little bit more time to think about what I want to say and jump in when I'm ready. Because I want to be able to simulate in a situation where I would have a little bit of time to think about what I want to say when the other caster is talking, and then be able to jump in. So right now, I just want to make sure that what I am drawing attention to matters more. One thing that I noticed for myself, I was getting definitely... It felt just too hype. Like, it's chaotic, I know, but... was not able to achieve what I was talking about in the beginning of this match or beginning of this map on Control Center, which was make sure that as I'm talking about the fights, that I'm still finding some times where it can kind of reset. So even if people are dying, there at the end, say, or when red team was fighting through that first choke point and Mueller on the Tracer was left to die last, instead of trying to continue the hype through the fact that blue team was able to finish off the last person as well and essentially get a team wipe, I should be cutting it sooner, because in terms of energy, like bringing it down, because we know the Tracer is going to go down, and if Tracer pulls off an incredible play, then sure, let's be surprised. But I would rather bring it back, give some time for myself and the audience to breathe, and then carry on from there. Because then that goes right into, well, what's the setup for the next fight? I can think about the ultimates. And I think one thing that, in terms of my approach, that I want to become really proficient at is the ability to have an expectation so that I am less surprised at a team fight. When an ultimate comes out, who would it have been used by? To know instantly, to just know from the audio cue and having... And maybe if I had just checked the ultimates, maybe I saw Zaxel on the Junkrat, had the ultimate ready to go, and I hear the Rip Tire come out, then I know it's from Zaxel. One thing also that I don't know in the moment, just to be able to discern between the voice lines from a blue side or a friendly side ultimate versus the red side or the enemy ultimate, because they are different voice lines, and I need to understand if it's something that I'll be able to work off of. But at the very least, I should understand that for this next fight, say for example when they come back to this, if they were able to continue, Nikki with whose Reinhardt was at 98 on the ultimate, whereas the other Reinhardt was at like 28. So obviously if there's an Earth Shatter, it would be Nikki on the red side and not the blue side, unless they had some miracle fire strike that went through everybody twice. So to finish off this map, I think I'm going to try to continue to do this third person. I think I'd prefer to actually do a little bit more first person so I can follow and be able to know what I'm looking for and talk about actually the mechanics of what the players are doing versus the positioning. But I guess we'll just hop right into it. We see blue side. They're going to be working from the front side of this map as both teams shifting to more of a dive. Both teams bring in the Diva and the Winston as well. And while the red team had the position onto the point, they were just ceding a lot of ground and they're able to back up. But that might have been because they wanted to have the ability to absorb the pressure coming in from blue team. And now they're able to turn and get those kills that they need. Blue team starting to lose resources on the point. Red team able to cap first onto this point, and again, the dive from both sides are going to be empowering these teams to be able to take skirmishes no matter the direction. Nobody at an ultimate. The closest would be Chuck with the self-destruct on the Diva on the blue side. As the Winston will jump onto the front line, and now moving in, this is going to be the sound barrier. Blue team looking for an opportunity. They need to convert these to kills, though. It is not enough just to stay alive, as Rampage will take out Mueller, so that's going to be the first kill. Self-destruct will come out as well, zoning off the point, but a returning ultimate on the side of the Diva on the red side will be bringing on an ultimate as well. The self-destruct goes down. Rocket Barrage will be activated, but only is able to get quite a bit of value. But red side are still able to hold onto the point and onto their ultimates. At least one left to go. They will be at the disadvantage. Blue team need to find an answer to this dive in these skirmishes. They're losing these battles on the side of the maps and losing the mechanical, being outplayed mechanically. As you see, the way that they're diving in, they're just going right into the front line. Sterling trying to keep everyone topped off, but red side are going to be using their sound barrier. They will be coming out onto the point and fighting off of this point, just trying to take it, match them wherever the fight. But that's going to be the Dragon Blade coming out from Jaxel. Again, Jaxel does use the anti-air. He's able to turn the point with the help of the Dragon Blade because they're able to get that Pharah. 74%, the red team able to get quite a good chunk of change. But now it's up to them to flip this point. Epodix has the self-destruct turning up. That will be available for this next fight as red team look to be a little bit wary on their approach. And Joel might have been a little bit too close, but the Mercy will make sure that he is topped off. But Chalk has to use a self-destruct on the side. That's not an optimal position as the rest of the team. They'll be able to use the sound barrier for the blue side, able to stay up and have the health that they need. But they need to start finding the kills. Blue side have used everything to try to hold this defense, but red team, they have a lot at their disposal. Ventana has the rocket barrage, but it's going to be absorbed mostly by the defense matrix, and now it is these ultimates. Blue team doing a good job of holding on and being able to turn the fight, and that's going to be a big pulse bomb, as well as Zaxel bringing out the Dragon Blade again, able to turn. This is what turned the last fight in order to kill that Pharah, and it looks like they'll be able to stabilize here. But red side, the Primal Rage from Nikki is going to be worn out, but they're able to finally get onto the point. Oh, Jove not able to get back onto the point itself. Had to take out the counterpart and was feeling a little bit greedy, but might have been worth if they're able to get at least a kill on the Mercy or the Pharah. Blue team will continue to hold. The red side, they do have 2 ultimates to their advantage. That's going to be a big self-destruct, zoning everyone else off the point. But now they need to get a positional advantage. Rampage has the Pulse Bomb yet again. Needs to look for a big target. As now we see blue team are going to be reinforced. Red side, they can't even find cover here as they're going to get chunked down. They just had a huge health disadvantage as Jolf will just be jumping around the point, able to find the damage with the Tesla cannon, tickling everyone down, and that will be overtime ticking out. Blue side will take each of the 3 maps. Yeah, solo casting control kind of sucks. And so I mean, let's talk about why. So maybe I should hold off on that point. I was feeling it was very difficult to read what I wanted to talk about. Because there's so much going on, and I was trying to come back to the ultimates. But when I'm doing that quick scan, it's actually really tough to tell if someone is really close at a glance. Like, I'm talking quarter of a second or less. Because I need to be able to tell what's going on the screen and identifying just what's going on the screen itself, and then looking at the kill feed. Need to be very efficient about where I am looking on the screen and the sounds that I'm hearing in my ears. So the goal is to be able to tell very quickly what is happening, right? So the quicker I can do that, the better. So I felt like with the free cam, it introduced a lot of distractions about the team fight, whereas maybe if I'm calling out an ultimate, an expectation for, okay, well, we're expecting that Genji will have the Dragon Blade, but on the opposite side, there could be a Transcendence, right? So drawing directly an expectation that the timing of those 2 ultimates is critical. If one comes out before the other, then the other person is kind of screwed. If you guys are... Yeah, again, so music is by Glitch City. Guys, check it out. SoundCloud, also YouTube as well. Glitch X City. So... This is too high fee. This is too high fee for me right now. Pokemon Tire Remix, that's better. We're still in minor, but it's okay. So it looks like they're going to be picking Volskaya. Let's go check on the chat here. But yeah, just like I said, I think I want to work on where I can tell quicker what's going on and be able to anticipate. And I think that'll help set up for and talking about something that actually adds to the action. I don't want to just, again, don't want to read the kill feed, but I also don't want to just say what's happening on screen. So something that happened practice casting with Lemon earlier, Lemon Kiwi, talking about, okay, well, what is the, how are you going to add to the content of what's happening? And again, it's not reading the kill feed, but then it's also not just saying an ultimate that you can see on the screen. And so yes, there's just a lot of stimuli. There's a lot of things going on the game itself. So I think here, let's try the free cam again for the first part of this. Oh God. Put PUBG on a second monitor and cast that and see how that turns up in terms of meshing commentaries. Are you talking about, like, just talk about what I'm seeing on Overwatch and see how well that matches up with the PUBG?
Be right back. I'm out of here.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's go ahead and just give it a score here. I think that was this blue team taking it all last time, but they've swapped here. I think that was red side now. All right, we'll just leave the score 0-0. Yeah, I know you're joking, Kappa, but I want to understand the joke a little bit better, guys, because we are going right into the next game, Volskaya Industries 2CP, everyone's favorite game mode, Assault.
Defend objective A.
we will see red team. They're going to be bringing a little bit of a hybrid dive, as both tanks will be able to cover a lot of distance very quickly, as Jolf already starting to contest early on. Red team trying to move around, rotate around on this point, and they will be able to get this high ground, and they're finding the Sombra up there on the platform. Sombra's able to escape, but on the backside, Zaxel is able to win the battle versus Mueller. But where is the rest of the team as they're starting to fall? Everyone just starting to lose their health, and the red team is able to really capitalize on this.
My ultimate is charging.
That rotation by the red team onto this upper ground just gave them such positional advantage. The blue team they weren't ready for that attack, the angle of attack. And look at this, the ultimate from Sterling, that Sombra who wants to get that EMP off as quickly as possible, doesn't have it yet. And even the D.Va standing on top of it. Chuck will be getting demeched as well, as the next hope for a contest here is Rampage, but you don't want to send your soldier down into the point. So whether, does this soldier jump down? Yes, he does, but he has a Discord orb on top of his as well, and is not even able to contest it as the second tick comes through.
Objective lost.
Oh, was the stream lagging before?
My EMP is charging. My ultimate
Red
is
team with a
charged.
big rotation up onto the upper ground, getting the position they wanted, and now are going to be carrying in a lot of momentum. But on the other side, Zaxel has the pulse bomb, and we've seen the way that Zaxel is able to put the pulse bombs on the party targets. But no, it's going to be up to Jolf, even taking down Dantana. But there we go, Mueller will be contesting on the point as the rest of the blue team looking to defend. They're up in the front. And the soldier Rampage on that upper ground was able to scare off the Tracer. But now it is up to Nikki. Has that ultimate ready to go. You can see that indicator up above his head. And the red team is fully stacked. They have all ultimates ready to go. So they can just use them. But that's going to be the EMP. Now no one in that line of sight is going to be able to use it as the fight continues to turn. Everything coming out here. Even the self-destruct getting in on the action as Mueller will reset. Red team got a lot of ultimates, a lot of value out of that push, as they still have 5 minutes, 50 seconds to make a stab at this next point.
My tactical visor is charging. I'm feeling
How many times do you see a full 6 stack, the full house of ultimates, as the red team look to figure out how they want to approach this? A lot of ways that they can use this, but again, on 2 CP, the self-destruct from a D.Va can be an absolute game changer, especially if you can bait the defensive team out into the open to try to draw out against the kill. So look for where the self-destruct will be used. Pulse Bomb Mueller does miss that, but blue team, this is their opening here, but the EMP will be used, so no one can use their ultimates from the red team, but they're going to be able to just tight back as much as possible. No, that's going to be the Tracer as well. No blinks available because of that hack. Getting such value out of that EMP. Absolutely the MVP of this matchup so far on second point. Was not able to charge the EMP in time on point 1, but now you can see from a full stack of 6 ultimates, red team now down to 4, and blue team not far behind to match that. Very optimistic pulse bomb comes out, but why not try? Because they're been able to stagger. But here, Jolf has the primal rage, so can contest on the point. But if he goes down too quickly, that might be the problem. Is we do see a trade on both sides. That's going to be 2 down for both as Chuck look to get back onto the point. And now they're starting to have those kills fall in their favor. So getting the early picks, red team, even though it ended up being a trade, they're able to really, it's about finishing the kills, finalizing the kills that matter.
My ultimate is ready. Get in there.
Blue team have been a little bit antsy on this defense. They've been wanting to play up, wanting to play aggressive, and it has earned them this stagger, and they've already wasted 3 minutes as red team will try to move in on this right side, and now it's up to blue team to respond to this. But look, on the side of blue team, that is the EMP ready to go. They will open up with the Transcendence to get them safely on the point, but now it is a matter of when this EMP comes out. We're looking for Sterling. This could be coming out in the back of the point, but the self-destructor's already been out. That'll be zoning everyone off of the point as the red team just has the Winston and the Tracer, but this could be enough as they're just dealing with the tanks on the point. Blue team reinforcing as Jolf will jump up above just to try to stay alive, but the Tracer will be able to finalize the kill onto that. But look, it is just the spawner's advantage to the defense. They're able to get back to the point, and we do see a swap onto the Pharah. They want to be able to do... Red team wants to do distance damage from a distance. Red team is throwing everything that they have except for the self-destruct. We've been looking for the self-destruct to make a difference, but the team is just not able to stay alive on that point. You wonder if that last fight, the self-destruct came out from the red side, that would have been a good spot here. But now, the EMP is not up. This is a big opening for the red team as they even have a sound barrier ready to go. And they'll be starting to win this fight on the point. And Sterling goes down. No EMP available as red team will start to flood on. And even that pulse bomb will not be enough to save the blue team. Now it is just up to the Lucio. How long can he stagger? He's doing a pretty good job as they will already start to cruise towards the ticking here onto this second point. But no, Sterling comes back and now has the EMP. And everyone is not able to use any of the abilities. They need to rely on just their normal abilities to get through this, as the pulse bomb will land on a Chuck. But no, there is going to be a giant self-destruct to clear the point as Nikki stayed behind his shield. But now it is pretty much 6v6 onto the point as supportal combat. That's going to be the Lucio going down as well as Hippo throws up the self-destruct, but able to use the walls. Blue team able to defend. Dantana is holding on to that rocket barrage and will be using it here. No, all the damage was blocked out by the moving platform. So unfortunate in terms of the timing as Nikke is able to run on through and finalize the damage onto her as well. But the red team is able to flip this, but it is about the stagger. Look, Lucio already in. It's so tough to turn a Lucio and be able to kill him, especially when there's a Winston bubble on the point. Valkyrie makes this very, very difficult for the blue team in order to try to get something back, but they will have that sound barrier to top them off, but is only going on to 2 players as now even D.Va, as tanky as she is going to be chunked down and taken out of the mech, and even that pulse bomb catching on to baby D.Va as the EMP goes down as well. But it is staggering here. It is impressive for this defense, but it is now only time until they're able to capture that. But a really good stagger and really great play there from the blue team in order to take that.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Okay, that felt a little bit better, I think, because there's more coordinated map movement by the teams, so it's easier to pick up on that. I want to try to go into more of the like a broadcast feed that I would be, let's say if we're doing this as an online tournament and I'm just doing production and I have to do casting at the same time, we'll give that a shot. Team switching sides, so new blue, new red. Zaxel now on the red team, and Dantana on the blue. As red will look to try to take this before the 40 seconds, if they can have a better pace. The stall was impressive from the former blue team, as they'll now be on the red side looking to attack and to try to take the momentum through. And in assault, it's so important to make your ultimates count. Even if you have the ultimate advantage and the momentum, you need to make sure that you're capitalizing on those moments where you have that advantage. And the previous red team was not able to turn that into the advantage. And again, it's just because there's so many ways that you can hide around on that last point. So self-destructs are much more favorable for the defense than it is for the offense. But already here we do see be bringing Jolf on to the Reinhardt as well, and the Hog to trying to get the picks. So this team, the way this team comp seems to be built, it's going to be triple tank plus Moira, Ana. They want to get a pick. They want to get all that damage from these tanks to focus it onto one person. And you can see it's going to be a reverse hook onto the red side. Not able to finalize it, though. Sterling is sticking on the backside of this, but running out of that charge, and you can hear that there now needs to deal the damage. But that's going to be a big hook coming out from the World Hog. And now you can see now they're forced onto the point. Jolf does go down, and they don't have the mercy to bring back that Reinhardt. So now they just got to fight with what they have. The red team now getting picked off, is even though they were tankier, they're not able to stay up because they were dislodged in that fight. And we'll see the reset coming out from Sterling.
My ultimate is charging.
My ultimate is charging.
Red team will stick with the triple tank, feeling like it was about the play and not about the picks. They will look to make a difference in how they approach. You see already so much ground being given up by this blue side. As Jolf looks to lead the team into a big rotation, able to turn around and just turn the entire team around and for that EMP. And now it is Jolf, can't even put up the shield and will go down for it. And now you can see the rest of the team. The Moira does have that ultimate, but it wasn't used in an effective manner. They're just trying to stay alive. That ultimate didn't earn them the advantage as they are already down 2 people. So it is a 4. Now make it 3v6, and they're surely going to be cleaned up on the side.
My ultimate is almost ready. My EMP is charging.
Red side continuing to stick with this triple tank. They do have a big combination. The Big Bang is available for the red team, but not without the Tracer. The red team still trying to get a pick, but likely going to be patient and waiting for this combination to be possible. Zaxel just coming up from spawn. Blue team need to be careful here. Hopefully don't play too aggressively because it is about this combination. If the whole team is together, this could be the moment that the red team needs in order to make the move. As both those teams are up, the Rampage will be bringing out the whole Hodge, and that's going to be dispersing everybody. But the EMP comes out, so nothing else available as the Hog will go down. That whole Hog just getting cut in half because of the EMP. The Earth Shatter comes out. Jolv just keeping the Diva from the side as the rest of the team. We have the Tracer trying to contest as the defense will be able to clear out the rest of the team on this flank. Jolf still swinging away, but this could be a big stagger. No, looks like they might have the numbers onto the point itself as Zaxel is able to get the kill on that right side. They didn't use the combination, but this scrappy fighting, red team were able to prevail on that fight on 2 fronts. While coming into the point, able to contest and get a kill. That is about as high value as you'd want out of your Tracer, and even gets away. And now, the Dantana has the tactical visor above onto the point, but the rest of the team, they're not able to contest. Mulet is only up to him. And Dantana is going to be coming from the backside of this, and the team just split up there. They're using the same tactic and the same reason why they were able to win that last battle. They just turned it on its head and made red team go through the same thing, distracting the team and just getting split up because of the priorities. Moira is on the front line. That's not a place where you want to have your support, as Suppos is on the back, not healing anybody, but just trying to contest, just trying to get into that overtime, but only a tank, DPS, and the support is available. They need to find a big pick here, but the Lucio will go down. No healing available, and the Diva will get demeched as well. Mullert will be cleaning it up.
Complete.
Alright. I say as well so much. Mushin Mukai Kubo. That's right. Rich Lush's voice overload. Is this where I do ASMR? No. Oh. Okay. I remember I said I was going to do more first-person viewing, and then I didn't. Let's try that next game. I'm just going to leave the scores at 0 just because it kind of doesn't matter. Actually, no, let's see here. Who won that last one? So that was I don't even know. Was that so? Okay, did they? I think they swapped. So it was, yeah, Mulet was the blue side on the defense. Okay, so that was blue team. They basically won that. So I'm just gonna give them a point. I forget what happened the first map. I think they won as well. Okay, no, we'll just pretend the first game didn't happen. So it's really interesting that I have these pre-programmed vocal things to fill time. Going to be, is able to, is looking to. And they definitely feel overused. Now that I'm drifting away from, or trying to drift away from using here, there, I think there are other things that are slipping in now in terms of the vocabulary, so maybe I should try slowing down more and making sure that everything I'm saying is unique, is thought through, is not on autopilot. Look, this is my favorite. You get into the game, you're just facing this corner. And you're like, oh, where's the map? Oh, let me turn around. Welcome back. We are out here on Broadcast.gg. Scrim Knights. Team Red went down to Team Blue on the last map, Volskaya. Team Blue will be leading going into this next escort map, which is, of course, Route 66. Both these teams having very similar dive styles. But it looks like Mueller is winning the Tracer battle over Rampage. But Rampage has found as well very good pulse bombs.
All right, game face on.
We will have to watch the matchup as it develops, because the battle of the flank has enabled this current blue team to be able to take the fights over red team. They will be coming out with that dive composition as expected from both sides, using the Diva and the Winston as well. Blue team, despite having this dive composition, will be holding on to that upper ground onto Big Earls, maybe just waiting to scout. Is now do see Dantana moving in, dashing into the back line, trying to take out this Zenyatta, and that's going to be the dive that has been enabling blue team to win all of these battles and take that last victory. But now the kills are starting to shift. That dive, all the DPS focusing on the back line, has allowed the rest of the blue team, the rest of the red team, to be pushing up, as they are still pushing the point, but starting to lose members. Mueller has to back off. Look how much space blue team has to give Rampage. They know that could be close to another pulse bomb, right? That it's so easy to charge a pulse bomb when you're landing these shots and landing these critical shots like Rampage has been doing. We see already Zaxel is very close to the Dragon Blade as well, but on the blue side, they were able to get the pick off. That's going to be reducing a lot of the healing here, and Lucio would be a big pick as well. The Sound Barrier is available for him, and they have to know this. Sound Barrier will go down to the point, though, as the rest of the red team is using everything that they can. Self-destruct goes up above the point, not able to find anybody, is able to scatter everyone off this point, but Rampage now holding on to this pulse bomb, as Zaxel will be going in with the Dragon Blade, and no defensive ultimates are going to be available for the blue team on the defense, but no, all it takes is a big swinging monkey onto the point to take out the Genji. Finally, Transcendence comes out, but now it is going to be timing out Joel jumping onto the front, getting that jump pack damage, and going to be using his Tesla cannon to clear this point. Blue team still contesting, but only this Winston has a chance of being able to contest, and we'll get back to the point. So red team needs to be able to finalize these kills, and if they want to secure point 1 as they cruise in, Zaxxon wants to move up very aggressively onto this point. They know that they have the support of the Mercy and the orb of the Zenyatta if he gets into some trouble, but needs to be able to get out. Red team prepping everything they need to do, and look how far back blue team has to stand just because they got killed so late on that push, just trying to hold on to it, as they have a lot to work with. Rampage even has the pulse bomb, and that's going to be as well. That's going to be on the other side, though. Dantana has that Dragon Blade, but is not able to find the kills just yet because the team is able to absorb this response. And even Zaxel staying alive for the time being, drawing 2 away from the point. But the fight is about pushing the payload as they continue to do that. But it looks like the whole team might have abandoned it. And they're not as nearly as far up as they could have been. But still, blue team have to take a defensive stance. They need to regroup. They need to find a way to answer this coordinated dive. Rampage and Zaxel coming alive. That's what we're talking about now. Mueller, who looks so strong on the last point, when there are so many ways to flank, Zaxel and Rampage are combining to get so much damage down and just turn the team to be looking up in these different directions, as we see Nikki already down to half health, just dealing with this Genji, not going to be dying from that. But now, already Rampage does get a stick, but that's going to be onto the sound barrier of the D.Va, as red team look to try to contain blue team here, and they're just separating the entire team. Dantana doesn't have anything to work with, and self-destruct will clear the point for the time being for red team, but they're able to quickly flood back in. Red team just playing better as a unit. As you can see, the trickle and the stagger. It is constantly 3v6 on the point because they're taking these battles and taking these fights on the side that they're not able to win. Outlasting the Primal Rage because they have the Transcendence there. Now, it is about the rest of the blue team. Can they get the stagger back in? D.Va is back onto the point, but they need the supports to get back in time. As she will go down, and this is going to be the point take. Blue team looking to fall back, as Jolf is waiting with the Primal Rage. Could use this to try to contain them into their spawn. How far does he go? The point is not even anywhere close, but they're still going to get the kills. Rampage going on a rampage, just like the namesake says, and will be continuing just to chunk down these kills despite not having the pulse bomb. You can look at the top of the screen. That payload is pushed only by one person, but that is definitely worth it when this whole team can't even get by. Joel, even holding onto that Primal Rage, could pop it at any moment. And here we go. That is going to be Dantana with the response. What can they find? Only able to find the kills on the Mercy so far, as the rest of the red team are starting to get more kills the opposite way. Zaxel, with his own Dragon Blade, will be going onto the back line. Not able to finalize a kill, but it's because Chuck is just taking everything on the board. The spawner's advantage to the defense, but the fight was taken so close to their spawn, they're not able to do any contesting as the payload looks to cruise in. Red team want to establish this front line and want to make way for this payload, but Jolf will go down, getting brought back by the Valkyrie, but Dantana will punish the Mercy for that res, as the Valkyrie from the blue side will be holding strong. Red team with not much to work with. Would need a big pulse bomb and an absolute miracle if they want to bring it in on this fight, but looks like they're going to be taking a breather and figuring out how they want to approach this next fight.
My ultimate is charging.
My ultimate is charging.
Oh, but a big stick onto Dantana. That's going to be taking out a huge member that has been a thorn in the side for this defense, and that is the go sign. Joel will jump onto the front line and even getting damage boosted. They don't have a lot to work with, but they have this Winston, who has been making so much space, but will go down because of that Graviton Surge on the opposite side. Sorry, the Earth Shatter on the opposite side. Transcendence will come out in response for the blue team, but they're starting to get, again, not able to work past these tanks, but the blue team will use the speed. Will just be able to run up into the face of the red team, and again, off of a great Earth Shatter from Nikki. So that early pick onto Dantana didn't mean very much because of the great Earth Shatter, but now they won't have that available. They need to understand that Dantana here will want to find a very big Deadeye. But where can Dantana stand when the red team is pushing in as aggressively as they are, and especially when Zaxel has the Dragon Blade on the red side? And this could be the opportunity. Zaxel needs to find an opportunity to use the Dragon Blade if they want to finish this map. And there it goes. Dragon Blade comes out. Zaxel is able to find a critical kill again onto the other support, and not too many people to clean up. Is able to find Mullet as a bonus feast, and is able to go onto this point to finish the damage onto the Zarya. Now fully red in the kill feed and fully red on the point. Another Earth Shatter, and the Deadeye will take out the Lucio, and now they're just contested on the point. They cannot get out of this except for the Valkyrie from the Mercy. He's able to stay above the fray, but 5 seconds left to go. This is a dire moment. Again, that Earth Shatter making such a huge difference for the blue team. Reinforcements starting to trickle in, but the Transcendence the opposite way. This could be absolute disaster for the red team if they want to push in. And Mueller even has that Pulse Bomb onto that side and carries it right into the Lucio, who dies because of the Carrier Express. The D.Va trying to jump in, and Zaxel has nothing to work with. Jolf will continue the contest, but how long can this monkey stay alive when the closest person is the Tracer, who is not able to get back to the point? But a good push nonetheless, essentially 3 points.
Traveling to Route 66.
Okay, feeling more in the groove. So let's see, what do we want to work on next? I think I'm still saying about to be going to, looking to, all these words, so I need to think of some alternatives for those. But I also didn't do a good job of slowing down like I wanted to. At the same time, I feel like I was able to address some of those issues, which is why I wanted to slow down in the first place, which was to be able to be more coherent. And I felt like, because I knew what I wanted to talk about and observing that specific person, watching for the ultimates to be used was more key.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Wow, it's an honor to meet a member of the Shambhala. Your doctor was an inspiration to me.
So I want to try this. I think I want to try to get to, I think for the hype that I was using, it was probably about 75% hype.
5, 4, 3,
Hopefully there's some big plays and I can go for some super hype. And it might come off as overhype, but it's okay. It's whatever. I'm finding the upper range. Blue now on the defense. Chuck and Jolf have the ability to peel for the team, but you can see Mueller here sneaking around. What will he be able to find? No, that the blink right into the headshot. Rampage will go down in such an unfortunate movement, but this is a big opening here. They don't have to worry about the flanks coming out for the red team as they continue to push on this point. And now this entire death ball is being turned around. They don't know where to look, and now the team is getting split up. You can see them trying to fall back and trying to deal with this monkey on the backside of their flank, but you can see the point continues to push. Nikke is absorbing so much damage and doesn't even go down. Blue team need to find a way to get back onto this point, or they just need to go back with their tails between their legs and figure out what they need to do on the next defense.
My ultimate is charging.
Blue team is setting up to be able to contest here, and we see Rampage starting to poke in. Again, that unfortunate blink, but that is the nature of a Tracer v Tracer, as Joe will be coming in onto this point as well. But that's going to be Dantana with the huge Deadeye on the back, is able to take out Sterling, so no one to work with, and no res able to be worked with here on the blue side. They just have to use what they have on the point, but Jolf standing strong, but that is not going to be strong enough as he goes down to the rest of the red team. Red team turning heads with their attack, with that approach, and despite the great Deadeye, they just get completely singled out, and there you go. Zaxel goes down, and these tanks, this dive with the tank has been doing so much damage. D.Va with the micro missiles combined with the Tesla cannon, you can definitely burst down in just one shot of Squishy. Now is a matter of when does the Pulse Bomb come out and when is the Transcendence used for the side of the red team. You see the Transcendence will be coming out second if they do decide to use this from the red side. As that point continues to push, no one on the blue side able to contest on the point. And even Sterling trying to jump in, trying to get that res, but that is absolute suicide. You need 2 seconds of safety in order to get that, as Chuck will throw himself at that point just to try to delay a little bit, but no one from the blue team is even close to contesting.
My ultimate is ready.
Zarya, ready for duty.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Red team with a staggering advantage. They have 4 ultimates versus 1. And blue team, they only have this Earth Shatter to work with, so it is up to Jolf to land the biggest Earth Shatter of his life. Dantana and everyone on the red side have what they need to make it happen. But Jolf, this could be the moment that they need. They are drawing them in, and that's gonna be a bigger Earth Shatter, knocking everybody off of the point, and he's just gonna go ham, swing onto this back line, and the rest of the team was able to follow up, but the Transcendence comes out. They were not able to kill that Zenyatta at the time, and unfortunately not able to take advantage of that huge pick as Dantana turns around and uses the data to take out Mercy once again. One of the biggest Earth Shatters for sure, but Jolf still, the rest of the team not able to fight onto this. And look, they're just being absolutely stomped on their push, they're just trying to get out of the spawn, as Jolf has to take all the abuse and all the damage from the red team because no one else from the blue team is going to get back. But another Earth Shatter yet again, and that self-destruct will be starting to eliminate people on the side of the blue team, but the Valkyrie is able to bring people back, and Jolf yet again to the front line to try to contest. Zaxel wants to be able to split up the rest of the team as the Graviton Surge will keep everyone in one spot and allow the blue team to focus and understand just dump damage here, aim here, get kills. Jolf with huge Earth Shatters as a third here. And has really been the reason why blue team is staying alive, but now the rest of the team set up for success around him. They just need to find a way to deal with his flankers on the side, because we have, you see Mueller working on the back line of this. Jolf, he's exposed his backside, and he just charges back. He needs to get healing, but he is already purple, and now this front line, this shield is not able to stand tall in front of everyone else, but at least getting the kill on Mueller would be big, and that hammer swing will be able to finalize the damage there, but Jolf still so low, he will go down, but that gives enough time for Rampage to get behind the tanks and to get those kills they need. They look to be stabilizing here yet again. Blue team playing with just playing right on the edge, is able to clutch it out when it matters most.
My ultimate is charged. Someone get that payload moving.
Dantana holding on to this Deadeye. They need to use it at the right moment as the ultimates are starting to go in the favor of the blue team, of the red team, and that's going to be the open they need. That Deadeye wasn't even necessary until just now to start zoning out the rest of the team, understanding where they are. Oh, and going to be almost taking out that Mercy, but no, this is going to be now the Zarya coming back is able to get the shield up, but we do have a player dropped out just briefly. And that was the Reinhardt too, so very unfortunate. Cool. I think at this point, there are still some lingering issues here and there of me forgetting hero names, ability names. So I think just with time and understanding the ones that I'm forgetting, and maybe more of the anticipation, I think, of course, mainly the experience will allow me to not forget those in that time, because that really can trip me up really bad. Already jumping back in. Jolf will be respawning in just a moment, but already Graviton Surge bringing the red team together and keeping them from pushing this point ever so briefly as Rampage recalls. They need, blue team need to have an answer. Okay. I think there was maybe one moment when I got to 90% hype. So I need to go back and review that and see how clean it was. So one thing that I think experience has helped me do is to understand what is something you would actually say in those moments that are really hype. And unfortunately, it was from trial and error. So it's not at all an effective way. I think it'd be really good to understand the different levels of hype. So this is something that I talked about with Lemon Kiwi earlier. Some advice from Gilfrost was that understanding what are your different levels of hype and what would it sound like. I think understanding what you would sound like in those moments, it would be really helpful. And it's something that you will learn naturally because of experience. So that's why I want to try to push it past a comfort zone so I can understand that, do I have something that would be serviceable at a very high level? Because I think I understand how to make it hype for what I think is appropriate, but could I push that comfort level forward a little bit and maybe get something that is, so where the hype actually becomes something that's more of a strength for me? Alright, get in the game.
Now arriving at Ilios.
Should change the message, but we're about to switch it off. As we're back to our favorite type of game to cast, which is Control. Favorite game to solo cast, of course. So since they both finished the last map, I think we'll just give them both 1 point, even though I believe blue team did have a better time.
Empty your mind. Focus on the task at hand.
Health bars.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Blue team continuing to use this dive composition, and it has served them well. Mueller and Dantana have been able to get to the back lines and use just that momentum in combination with the tanks to take out those high priority targets. And you see already Mueller in a 1v1 battle with the Moira. In a tough spot. We've seen some Moira battles already with the Tracers, but in a chaotic battle like this, it could be won by the Tracer. It's already just playing with fire, and this Moira is so close to death and will not be able to go down right now. As it looks like the red team should be populating the point more so, but Dantana wants to have a say about that, as already the Winston from the blue side jumping in. Nikke holding on to just a sliver of health as the red team, they're very close to dying, but they just aren't falling quite yet. And now the kills are starting to fall in the blue in the favor of the blue team. Nikke has the Primal Rage just to pop everyone out, but there you go. I mean, it's so important to get those kills and not just do a lot of damage. Blue team will emerge victorious for this first bout and Dantana and Lucio for the side of the blue side will have their ultimates. Red team will be engaging with both support ultimates. That's going to be the Coalescence as well. They want to make room on this point. Self-destruct is going to be making a lot of space, and Lucio will go down for the red team. But the tank's still available. Nikke just waiting on the wings, waiting for the last moment to contest. And no, but unfortunately, jumps in right after the Tracer dies. No, the coordination there, unfortunately, allowed red team to be able to get those kills. And it looks like they will be able to finish to flip this point.
My ultimate ability is charging.
There is disquiet in your soul.
Now for blue team to get this back, they need to chunk down Jolf. He has the Primal Rage. And a Winston that you have to work through his whole health pool, then he pops the Primal Rage, can be so annoying and so tough to fight through. So have to see where they decide to use this. And Dantana jumps into the point, is able to get a kill onto the soldier, but now is getting just pushed off the point because of this Primal Rage Winston, and he will go down to the monkey, but the rest of the point, red team still able to find those boops and find those kills in order to make sure that blue team will go down. Now finally in the lead, red look to stabilize and look to set up for their next defense.
We must focus our attack upon the
Nikke is able to find a lot of kills though. They have now 3 kills in their favor as Dantana even gets a kill himself as they're winning the fight both on the point and off the point. But Zaxel in reply is going to have the Pulse Bomb, but the Transcendence will make sure everyone on the point is staying topped off. And the Pulse Bomb will land onto the red side D.Va as well. Again, not able to flip the point. That Transcendence, red side able to very smartly, or blue side able to very smartly kite around that Transcendence. And unfortunately, red team was not able to finalize those kills for them. The point will flip again, and there's very back and forth Ilios.
My ultimate is charging.
Rampage will jump in, has the tactical visor, but now has to fight through. Dantana is able to take him out as well. That reflect went down just in time. Rampage left unopposed until this Tracer is on him, but so many targets for the red Tracer to take. This red team will battle back to flip the point, and they have 2 ultimates to their name. Jolf with the Primal Rage, as well as Pulse Bomb from Zaxel.
My tactical visor is charging.
The rest of the red team want to play aggressively here. Dantana self-suiciding because wanted to make sure. Oh, but the pick, that Pulse Bomb almost landed onto the Mercy. So no early pick for the red team. High risk, high reward play, but still can make it happen on this back line. But Dantana will use the Dragon Blade. What can he find? Already gets the dash reset onto Rampage, as now Zaxel is trying to do as much damage as possible from outside. Jolf is able to finalize the kill onto Dantana with the Primal Rage, but it goes down at the end. His health pool getting cut down to nothing as the rest of the team is not able to be there, but the red team was able to get it up to 99% of one more shot. We need to flip this point, and it would be a really good to get a pick onto the Tracer. Pick would be great, but behind this Genji, Dantana is going to be just trying to be a nuisance in the backline, but this damage is gone from the point, and so blue team are losing the battle onto the point itself as Jolf now is able to use the Tesla Cannon, but has no resources around him, has no healing, and is going to be chased around by his counterpart, the Winston on the opposite side. Zaxel not able to use doesn't have any of that the Pulse Bomb ready to go because it was just used, and now it is very little he can do. Zaxel tries to jump in, but losing that 99 to 100.
Score 1-0.
As now it is time for the environmental kill battle. Expect to see Lucio's as well as Orissa's and the Hog for both sides. Blue team bringing out each of those heroes, but red team looking to hold on to having that Winston, and why not when it has been so strong? Unfortunately, they're not able to support that Winston towards the end to stay alive, even through the Primal Rage.
Capture the objective.
Look to see for blue team, can they establish this base and just draw them in, as the Orissas are on both sides. Shield War will be won initially by the red team, as Hippo looking for a big hook, but red team knows this. Again, these are not any kind of scrubs. Oh, but it gets close. That's going to be still the kill. Enough there. And the environmental kill going on to Dantana. Chuck getting a return kill for the environmental kill that happened to his own side. But there was a shield. Now they have to chunk through that and getting completely turned around. Now that's going to be 2 kills already for Chuck because of the hook. Playing the better hook game and playing around the shield is the red team early on. Blue team just focusing a little bit too much onto where trying to get these environmental kills, but now this could be the opening that blue team needed. Red to pushing up a little bit far as Hippo is able to get a kill, but now needs to work up here and is able to, does miss that shield. The Orisa will be gone for the red side, so this shield can refresh for the blue, and red's going to have to be very careful, and even popping the tactical visor just to try to get the kills, and that's going to be, no, the hook, trying to getting pushed off, and just so close to getting pushed off. Dantana has that, has the dead eye, but gets taken out towards the end there, as now blue team just trying to stay alive on the point. Nikki getting pushed back way behind the barrier and might go down if the red team is able to land a big hook just like that from the Hog, and dancing around the shield though, and this Hog might have been overextended, wanting to get the pick onto but gets tossed around and gets picked off. But again, a trade onto Muellert is up to the blue team to set up their next position, and whoever wins this shield war might be able to get the environment kill that they needed. Dantana so close to getting pulled into the endless pit in the center, but fortunately there was a lip on that edge that prevented him from going down. A lot of ultimates used for the blue team to flip that point, but now they're in the driver's seat and they're getting the picks in return. Oh, but a poop kill, Capitano. These boops have been so great. So many places and ledges here for the blue team to be using, and a Lucio to use. Have a lot to try to hold on to this point. Look for where Hippodix uses the whole Hog, whether they want to push them off the point or push them towards something else. That is the big question. Blue team now dealing with Zekel on the back, but that's Zaxel finding the huge pulse bomb onto the Mercy. This could be the opening here as the whole Hog is used to push off the Tracer. Again, we were looking for a Hippo, but the whole Hog on the side of the red team was able to be a lot more effective as the Bongo goes down, damage boosting everybody on that side. And Shirley, Nikki will go down here with a Lucio Shirley at her back. The point flip will come through. Blue team need to regroup and figure out how they want to approach this next fight.
My ultimate is charging.
Muellert without any pulse bomb, but a lot to work with is on the point. That's going to be the sound barrier opening up here. They now are able to get into position as the Tracer is behind. Rampage, though, is able to be topped off by this Mercy with the pocket healing. Rampage still going crazy onto the point and even killing off so many people, but Nikke is able to win the battle towards this Tracer. No, but the Tracer is able to bring back, oh no, it's brought back at that moment, but blue team, it is getting very dire because they cannot take out this back line. Jolf holding strong with the shield, playing around the shield in such a smart way. But both sides really dealing with the flankers and able to stay alive, as we'll have a little mini reset within this fight. With the Dragon Blade coming through for Chuck. What can he find? Already finding 2 kills and to make it a third as Dantana goes down as well. As overtime, they're starting to lose bodies on the point and will lose the contest.
Round 2. to 1.
Try not to get yourselves killed out there.
Now down to a best of 1. Both sides showing their prowess with the dive.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And of course with the environmental kills.
Round 3.
But unfortunately it was not enough for blue team to bring it back and take the win. But it will be now the battle of the Widowmakers. As on the side, on both sides, Zaxel and Dantana have Widowmakers themselves. Jolf now swapping onto the Zarya. We've seen Jolf have really great tank positioning for a lot of these battles. As already the skirmishes are taking place on this left side. Again, no kills have fallen yet. And it's all about this first pick. Where does it happen? And can the Mercy even jump into res? The blue team do not have any Mercy to their disposal. Will they find the Mercy on the opposite side? This is a big moment for the blue team as Dantana will find the pick off as well. And kills are being traded out, but the main battle is being won by blue team, who take the position on the point and fight out from there. And how many times have we seen this moment? Rampage wants to find a big pick onto this Tracer, using the pulse bomb, but getting warded away. But this could be a juicy target. Puts down the pulse bomb, but using the grappling hook, Dantana is able to escape just briefly. But again, now Dantana, the Widowmaker, is distracted, and this Tracer is going to decide just to go past the point and get kills on the front line as Dantana needs to retreat. Oh, Dantana's so close to dying here and gets a huge stagger as finally red team look to be poised to flip this point, but not before. They have to deal with a lot of people on the point, actually. These tanks are staying alive for quite a long time. Shots are not finding the mark just yet. The Widowmaker from the red side not able to get those kills that they need, as a self-destruct will take out Chuck on the point. So now starting to get the advantage is the blue team, if not before that Valkyrie, and now it is just the Diva who goes down as well. No tank on the point for the blue side, and surely not able to avoid the flip in return. Blue team with the Transcendence to work with. They can get into the point safely. The question of whether they want to do that or if they want to use it in an optimal position to help them win the fight, but no, they use it right now. Scorch Sanity, he's using it to keep everyone topped off, and now the kills are starting to fall on the side of the blue team, but not before Zaxel can take out Nikke. And now blue team will look, but this could be a big boop off on the right side, as the objective is not. The blue team can't stand tall there. They're just losing their tanks, and those tanks aren't able to get the utility they need, and they need to burn the sound barrier there just to get on the point and just to stay alive. Sound barrier comes out in reply. Zaxel starting to go off with this Widowmaker, able to win this battle versus his counterpart. But not before the flip happens. Zaxel now fully exposed. The rest of the team know exactly where the Widow is. But no, it doesn't even matter, as the tanks are going to be cleaned up from the blue side. This contest is very, very optimistic from the blue side, as they're just throwing in the good money with the bad. Already know that this is so hard for them to contest. Really trying to do everything that he can, but unfortunately not able to prevent the flip. But still not so bad for the blue side. Chuck and co need to find an answer, and a creative one, to make sure that they're able to win the next battles, and it's about enabling Zaxel. Zaxel can stand tall in the back line, able to see the sight lines, and if the blue team is not paying attention, they could just end up in the center of the crosshairs of this Widowmaker from Zaxel. Red team deciding to stay back as much as possible, as blue team are just using the Transcendence just to get into the point. No ultimates from both sides. Actually, it's going to be Suh bringing out the sound barrier. They want to win this, but they can't find the kills quite yet. Zaxel, but that is what all they really needed there. Just need to make sure that those tanks are staying up and alive. And the big staggers might be coming through for the blue team. For the red team, actually, already it is 97%. The blue team can't even get back to the point. Is there anyone even there to contest? And yes, it is. That's going to be Mueller on the Tracer. But who will be here to reinforce? Nikki has nothing to work with other than this bubble, but has a lot of enemies staring in the face, as Lucio will go down to Zaxel as well. The Widow here is what won the game for the red team. Whew, all right. What do we got? So I think that might have been the end of the scrim. So just standing by and seeing what's up. So that was red team, right? So we can just call this tied, even though I think red team ultimately went down. But again, it's scrim. So, ooh, King's Row.
Now entering King's Row. Incoming in 30 seconds.
Hello. Hello.
Don't be
The government here has such a medieval view.
My ultimate is charging.
Group up.
Group up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, we are back again. We are just saying we're tied here on the scrim between Team Red and Team Blue. As Red look to move in very quickly. With this Lucio speed boost, able to get to this front line very quickly. Jolf dropping down that shield. And now they just have to deal. They have this Mueller in the back line. Yeah, putting a lot of damage down, and that's going to be enough damage from those grenades just to keep everyone at bay. Red team had a very good approach early on, but not able to work through the shield fast enough as Mueller continues to find the rockets, and there's these grenades here. They're chasing. They want the stagger, and they want it in a big way as Nicky jumps to the front line and almost sacrifices himself for it. Red team is reinforcing now, so blue team not overextending in the moment. Nicky has still a good amount of shield up, but needs to find cover soon as it will drop in a second. This could be the opening for the red team. Now, Jolf running up into the front, has such a low health because of the shots from Mueller, and a huge Earth Shatter will come through, but that's going to be the Coalescence versus Coalescence, the Kamehameha battle, as Mueller will use the Riptire to deal with the Moira on the back line. So now it is just Rampage and Zaxel who will fall to the blue team. A very hectic fight, but blue standing cool, standing tall, and able to defend yet again. The red team have a big ultimate. That's the Graviton Surge. They can manipulate the crowd control. They can get them in a position of where they want. And that's going to be the Graviton Surge lining up the pin for Jolfir, who drops to such low health, but is able to stay alive. But where are the rest of the healers? Will go down to the Fire Strike, and this Attack Visor Rampage is trying to play hero. but is not able to do so. The rest of the team still able to keep up the contest. That's going to be Zaxel still as well, as now it's going to be 2v2. A big pulse bomb lands, and Nicky could be going down, but this Mercy is keeping him topped off. Jolf standing right in the front and wants to make sure that the team has enough space in order to get those picks that they need. As Nicky will be brought back, and no mercy on the side of the red team will prevent that Reinhardt to be getting back here any sooner than he wishes he could, as Mueller will bring out that tire, does get taken up by Rampage, but has given enough time for the blue team to get back and stand tall with both of these tanks. Jolf back in the point. He wanted to use the Earth Shatter, but gets Earth Shattered in return. But the blue team not able to capitalize that. He whiffs it as well into the shield, but it might not matter because the blue team is tucked into this corner, and they are not able to get the position on the point that they want. Sterling with the big plays is using that coalescence, is using just the balancing of the damage and healing for the team to keep them just winning the battle when they need to. Blue team was holding strong on that defense, but ultimately was about the fact that they were held back at the choke point, and it prevented them from being able to get into a good position to be able to contest. Again, they were safe, but they were not contesting, and that is what is most important, as a Graviton will be pulling everyone to the center of this payload, but it didn't even matter. The damage and the healing from the grenades wasn't enough to kill the shield, and the healing from Sterling kept everyone alive. Jolf has to use the charge just to get back, and that is a smart move, as Mueller looking to move up has tripped 3 kills already, and now they know this Reinhardt is here. He can hold on to that Earth Shatter and hold on to the charge until the moment the rest of the team is here. They have a lot to work with. If they can find a big Earth Shatter on the offense, that would be huge, and this could be the moment. That's a big Graviton Surge, and coming out the Pulse Bomb, that's going to be the big bang coming out, but in reply, that's going to be the tire coming out from Mueller as Nicky goes down, and it's going to be just the low tank battle as they're starting to get fewer and fewer people, but on both sides, and what this means is that now the red team is able to get the advantage on the point, but dropping down behind, that's going to be the coalescence combined with the soldier, and they're able to get the damage that they need and preventing the point from pushing any further than it needs to. But hold on, this is going to be the reinforcements. Joel comes in and has the hammer. He wants to push this blue team back and make sure that they can get to this second point. Joe holding on to the Earth Shatter in his back pocket. When does he decide to use it? He put it into a shield, the first Earth Shatter, and now it could be a better one. As blue team just have to fall back. They just give that up for basically free because of just how scary the red team was looking. Joe will go in and gets even the pin onto the Zarya, and he has gotten this access to the back line. That would have been a perfect opportunity for the Earth Shatter, but no, the rest of the team wasn't there. They called it off, and they know the blue team has the time to push back, but no, he puts it right again into a shield as the payload continues to push. That is what is important here, and Nicky goes down with the Earth Shatter as well. Brought back up. He's waiting for the opportunity, but no, he isn't even able to use it as the point now only pushing with one. Zaxel has been such a nuisance for the blue team. Look at him just standing on this next to the spawn. Wants to get that pulse bomb ready to go. But here comes the tire. Gonna be hiding and just waiting for the right moment, and this could be it as jumping in behind, and even though they had the top off from that sound barrier, it goes down for it. Only one pick, but that is the pick that they needed for having the mobility and having the healing. As together, the Graviton Surge will be bringing together everyone from the blue side and allow Joel to just swing away at the point. But Dantana wants to have something to go with it. He wants to contest this point, and he needs to find a kill as this blue team is reinforced on a grenade, keeping them topped off. But for how long? As Nicky jumps in, they need to stay alive and buy time for the rest of the tanks to come in, and it looks like they will reinforce. But Rampage now uncontested. Mueller has to jump to this back lane. They have to try to win the 1v1. Will be able to get the health in addition. But again, it is about needing to contest the point. Mueller not able to find the kill fast enough because of the biotic field. And now so many kills falling for Rampage. And he has the tactical visor with no shield on the blue side. Jumping in. This is do or die. And now it is do because Nikkei was able to find the jump pack kill. And Dantana found the Helix rocket from behind. Such a tense fight. But blue team will be able to take a breath, but not much longer before Jolf in the big Earth Shatter. Could this be the Earth Shatter that he's been looking for? Jolf's been finding, just has been struggling to find the right Earth Shatter, and now they need to burn down the Winston bubble. They know there's nothing here to contest it, and even going into the backline, this Tracer and the Coalescence combination will take them out and make sure that red team can finish.
Now entering King's Row.
A swap of sides for both teams. We'll see old red on the blue and old blue on the red, but again, just doing some scrim action here. Jolf having a lot of trouble finding the right Earth Shatters, putting it into the shield of Nikkei so many times, but it didn't seem to matter. The rest of the team playing around Jolf in a way, and Jolf with the great positioning, and maybe even the red team, the opposite side, over-anticipating on when Jolf was going to bring out that Earth Shatter. And so just playing in a non-optimal way.
How do I trust a man who is half machine?
The heart of a man still beats inside me.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Reinhardt, I must say you're looking quite well. The slightest agree with you.
This matchup has truly been the tale of two lines, the front line and the back line. Who can kill the opposite first? Now we get to see Mueller with that great Tracer jump onto this back line, but of course now waiting up in the wings is Dantana. Will stake out Sterling, finding the shots right away. Let's go ahead and check out that view. Dantana getting the healing, and we'll be able to jump onto the front line very soon as the rest of the team have already made their way to the point. But meanwhile, Dantana is going to be taken out, but the damage was on the back line, and now just getting back to the point as red team have already flooded it. Chuck need to get back here. Looks like they're attacking when in fact they are defending. Again, the tale of the two backlines. It's about who can kill the others first. And Zaxel and Rampage focus so much on shutting down Dantana that it allowed the rest of the team from the attackers to push in, but they were able to reinforce, getting back very quickly, and that is what was key. As Jolf will find a kill with that Earth Shatter, gets slept here. But again, it is about that tank not being available for the red side. They have no shield to hide against, just a protected barrier that lasts 2 seconds, but they still continue to try to push here. Nikki just getting back to the front. Dantana wants to be able to find the pick, and that is going to be a good pick onto the Rampage, as already he is stuck in this backline. It's behind Chuck, but Zaxel wants to have something to say about it. He will take him down because of that Dragon Blade, and can he find a combination? No! Gets killed by that Earth Shatter, by the Fire Strike, as Mueller continues to rage and make room for the rest of this team. And look at this. They're just going way, way, way front up, and Chuck will kill himself with this right click, the alternate fire of that charged gun. And with a great take, with being able to find the kills, now the red team with the momentum and with the ultimate advantage, they will be close to a Mueller pulse bomb, and this could be a very big one. If they can land it onto that Reinhardt, just to cut down the person who has the shield. We've seen they need to play around Jolf. Blue team, they need to Jolf to have the shield up, and they need Jolf to stay alive. Ooh, but the Graviton Surge is able to bring everyone together here, and now the defense is starting to flout on one ultimate used, and the defense very high value, but they still are down.
My ultimate is charging.
Our duty is to move the payload.
A lot of options for the red team as they're approaching, but all of it involve the fact that they need Nikki to keep up the shield, and he will put it into an Earthshatter. No, and the counter Earthshatter comes out, and now Jolt with a huge Fire Strike, and even the charge, stealing the show from Zaxo, who has the Dragon Blade, but it wasn't even necessary because of the way that they lined up a huge, huge Earthshatter and a great Fire Strike and charge follow-up from Jolt. We talked about all the ways that red team can push up. One of them didn't involve losing to one ultimate, that Earthshatter being so big. And already Jolt is already up to 41% because of the follow-up damage he's able to find and that charge kill. So already very close to that. But now Iniki is empowered to just swing away at the shield. But the combination of the Big Bang wasn't enough. He gets the pin onto the Reinhardt on the opposite side, as now red team are just unleashing their ultimates as Nikki has even another Earthshatter of his own and is looking to get a big one here if they really want. But no, just decides to hold it off, keeps that Earthshatter, and just uses the shield to escort the rest of the team. Graviton from the defensive side is available, but Dantana continues to do damage from the top and does get taken down by Rampage, but that is a good trade for the red team because now they have the Graviton just together and no one doing the damage from the red team. They're just all tied up, and Jolf will even be nano boosted just to give that extra damage reduction and damage out of his hammer. Blue team used quite a bit. They used the nano boost and the Graviton Surge, but it is definitely worth it because on the side of the red team, they don't have anything to work with in terms of ultimates quite yet. Even a pick afterwards, that Biotic Orb is so annoying, especially in Streets phase. Anything where you can just bounce off the orb endlessly, it is key for just being annoying, as the attack just need to waste more and more time. Red team going to be swapping to the D.Va. They know that the dive has been working well for them in the past, and now just getting choked out here resources, not able to find the kills and able to land the damage because Jolf had a very good Earthshatter, and again that Graviton Surge as well. Jolf, the red team is going to be going right into 4 ultimates, but that's going to be a big pick onto Jolf, and even Zaxel goes down as well. So this is now the opportunity for the red team to push in. They use the Transcendent just to keep everyone topped off, and they will be able to push in and get the picks that they need, and surely will be cruising on to the second point. Blue team having a very tough time figuring out where exactly do they want to establish their defensive line. Where is their line of scrimmage? Where is somewhere safe? As already onto that front line, that Earthshatter coming out from Jolf. They want to make this count, and they need to now finalize the kill onto Nikki, who looks like he will be staggered quite a bit. Unfortunately, is able to get back to the point, but with 4 health. Now going to be giving a lot of ultimate charge to his counterpart here with the support. Pulse Bomb does land a big stick onto the point, but no, the stick doesn't end up following through. Capitano has the ability to bring in the team with a big sound barrier, but they want to set up, make sure they're in a position where they can get the win, but the picks keep coming through for the blue team. Zaxel takes out this Zenyatta yet again, and these picks are just absolutely destroying this red team. They do have the ability to chain it together, an ability to make it work, but it has been so tough here. Blue team doing such a good job of getting those picks early on. Give him the go sign. Nikki jumping in, uses the Primal Rage, has that extra health pool as well as the Transcendence will be triggered by the red team. They're dumping everything they need in order to stay alive, and even that pulse bomb will find Dantana, but it is still not enough to stop this push quite yet. But the D.Va D-Mech will mean that there's no utility tank on the point. It's up to only the damage of this mini D.Va to try to change the tide, but so much invested from the attack here. They just have one, but it is a big one. A Dragon Blade coming out from Dantana if he can stay alive and get to the back line. A pick onto the support or a pick onto the DPS would be big and enable the rest of this team to do well. And that is a big one right there. The Biotic Orb again now in reply. You're going to be taking out the Dantana going to be on this backline here, but the Coalescence is going to be chunking him down. Sterling is able to do enough damage and enough work, and now even diving to the backline himself. Trying to take that 1v1, but will go down to Muller. Red team now, there's an overtime, but they have bodies on the point, and they have the point as it is moving, and the rest of the team is reinforcing. Muller very close to that Deadeye as well. Could be very big if the blue team is not patient enough.
My ultimate is charged.
Dantana looking for the flank here, but has to be battling into two supports. Comes back because needs to have that healing for the rest of the team, but here comes the Deadeye. The Reflect from the Genji is going to be running out, but they're all using the point to hide behind it, and using that point as well as the Reinhardt shield to stay together is allowing them to stay alive, but at what cost as the rest of the team is able to just take advantage of the fact that they're all just trying to hide away from that Deadeye. So the point is continuing to move. They have no one here to contest, just the Reinhardt, who just has this dying shield at his back, and the Genji will fall and not even be able to contest as they take the final push and they go 3-0. Something like that. I think the other team finished. Ooh. This is the part where we get tired and it's like, alright. Trying not to be too much autopilot, but that's where I was heading. Alright, looks like scrims are over. Okay, dokie. Alright, let's stop the stream briefly. I'm going to do a VOD review right now as well. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to kill the stream and then get it going again. So just go ahead and refresh if you guys are watching along.